All right, we are back. I think I fixed the technical difficulties here. We got 3 minutes left in the third round. Benil Dariush versus Mateus Gamrot. A great back and forth fight. You got to give Gamrot the edge here from just being a super aggressive pressure wrestling type fighter in this fight. Really putting in a lot of hard work here in this round, really chasing after Benil Dariush. It's great to see the aggression and the urgency of his kind of wrestling style, and great stuff here from Mateus Gamrot. It's kind of an interesting thing too, because like there's a certain style of a lot of martial arts where it's like you're looking to defend yourself. It's self defense, um, and the way that Gamrot is fighting, he's fighting very much of a sportive kind of outlook on this fight. So it's almost a battle of like a new school MMA mentality to like an old school learning all of the martial arts individually kind of look here in this fight with Dariush versus Gamrot. But definitely a high paced, interesting fight. Dariush showing him the uppercut. Um, Basically saying, if you come in for a shot, Gamrot, this underhook is just going to be, or this uppercut is going to. Oh, crazy overhand right here from Benil Dariush, sits Gamrot down, and Gamrot doing some panic wrestling here to try to survive and close the distance. Panic wrestling is when you grab onto the guy's legs at the very last second in just trying to hold on and get your wits about you back. You need space for the knockout power to happen. And you see kind of Benil Dariush taking over in this part of the fight. But is it enough? There's 1 minute left to win him this fight. Gamrot's pressure wrestling style has been huge so far in taking round after round here. 45 seconds left in round number three. A nice 1-2 there from Benil Dariush. And man, a flying knee from Gamrot into a single leg takedown, just constantly on Dariush here. Dariush looking for a crucifix position. Gamrot picks him up, throws him down. Um, has his leg stuffed in north south. That's a classic great holding position that makes it really tough for you to get out of there. Dariush figures out a way out, uses the cage, and heists back up to his feet. 10 seconds left in this third round. Like I was saying, there's this old school 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Wow, a crazy, crazy fight. There's this like almost mentality with Benil Dariush where if the fight were to have gone longer and longer, um, like that his style was more energy efficient and he would have prevailed, where you saw him like starting to take over, especially in the striking exchanges like later in the fight. But like that pressure wrestling style, oh, they're showing the crazy overhand right that shot that sat Gamrot down. It definitely is a big moment in the fight. I wonder if that will give him this round, and then if he won another round, that could mean he won the fight. But I think Gamrot's style of pressure wrestling and just being so hungry for takedown after takedown after takedown, that sort of Khabib type style, um, is going to win him each round, which is ultimately like what the judges are looking for, and like the outcome of how to score this fight. The fight is scored on who won the rounds, and that's the way Gamrot is fighting, and Benil Dariush is fighting more so like it's an actual it's an actual fight. Wow, Benil Dariush, winner by unanimous decision. Good for Dariush. Amazing. Amazing. Wow. that big punch in the end of the first round of the third round was huge for him winning this fight. And when you're watching Gamrot, whenever you're watching him fight, it's like exhausting to see like what his output is like. I mean, his output is unlike anyone else that I've ever seen. But really, Dariush's experience kind of prevailed here, and kind of sitting, not sitting back, because he was still like such a important part of this fight here. Um, and like he was aggressive the whole time, that sort of letting him kind of almost take the back seat and letting Gamrot come to him played off well in this fight for him. He almost let Gamrot be in the driver's seat for this one, and it paid dividends for him. Man, I wonder what the deal is. I had like almost 300 viewers for the last stream. Um, and then I had now I have zero. I had one, but now I had zero. I had like 300 viewers for the last stream, and my UFC stream wasn't working. But now that it's working, now I got zero viewers. That's funny. Well, they're doing some pictures and stuff for Dariush. Got to post it on Instagram and stuff. The next fight should be interesting. It is Peter Yan versus O'Malley. Hey, they're showing Hasbullah. They're showing Hamzat. They are really wanting to make this fight with Hamzat and Colby Covington, which should be a good fight. Tough matchup for Colby Covington, but should be a fascinating fight. Wow, they're showing Gordon Ryan here on the UFC kind of commercial that he's going to be debuting on UFC Fight Pass. Awesome stuff. Really kind of showing grappling making its debut more so into the fighting world. Next here we have Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan. Should be a very interesting matchup. Sean O'Malley, the one thing that not the one thing, but one of the things that he has going for him is his reach is super, super long. I mean, he's like super, super long and skinny for the division that he fights in. And Peter Yan is very short. So I wonder how that reach will play an advantage in this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about Sean O'Malley's current hairstyle. He's got the most ridiculous hair in the game, and I want to know what you guys think. Peter Yan had some great trash talk saying that he looked like a whore on the side of the road. And you know what? He kind of did. So even O'Malley kind of tipped his hat to him in that trash talk as he felt it was accurate. But I guess he braids his hair back into those streaks. I don't know. I sort of like the hair when he had like the rainbow hair color. Um, but the red doesn't look so good in my opinion. I think it would be better if he just stuck with one particular hairdo. O'Malley. Hey, we got some viewers. Throw some opinions in the chat. What do you think of O'Malley's haircut? I'm curious. I sort of liked the rainbow hairstyle. Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan about to happen here in the third fight from the finish. We got O'Malley versus Peter Yan. We got the backpack guy, Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw coming up next. And then we got Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Nasayam Isakandrov threw some emojis, laughing, hot, and laughing. Not sure what those emojis mean, Nasami Vojan Isakandrov, but that is a wild name you got, and I could appreciate the wildness of that. I sort of think O'Malley should have stuck to one particular hairdo because just like Khabib and stuff, then you could like sell that hairdo in the at the UFC events. Like you see, Khabib has the giant hair, or another example is Paddy the Baddy. He has his classic like bowl cut blonde hair, and people like buy the wigs in the UFC store before the event and wear it while they're watching the fight. So that's something that like O'Malley could do, but if he changes his hair every single time, um, how do you come up with a product? Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments of O'Malley's hair. His fight versus Peter Yan is going to start momentarily here. They're just showing some promos before it all goes down. This will be a big test too for O'Malley. He's ranked like number 12 in the bantamweight division, and he's been famous for like saying and going against guys that are not so good. And Peter Yan is ranked number 1 in this division. So there's several levels between the number 12 ranked fighter and the number 1 ranked fighter. But O'Malley's just sort of been fighting like can after can after can after can. And a can is just like an expression for someone who's not so good. That this test, this fight is like a real test for what his level and his skill is at in this division. And it's a test he might not pass. So that should be interesting. But he's been like for so long fighting these guys on the come up that he's like, I made it to the very top of the division. And in a lot of ways, this fight is like a test to seeing if that is really true, because if you fight Peter Yan, he's going to expose you if you are not at the very top of the heap of the bantamweight division. O'Malley doing his walkout now. And also, like, just in having competed and having done like tournaments myself, if you beat a bunch of guys that are like not so good, you look really good. Like I fought in a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments against other people that were like not world beaters, and your performance against them looks like amazing. Like if they're not so good, then you can just show all of your skills and be dominant. But then you fight like the best of the best, the absolute top tier guys in the world, and things aren't always so easy. And then you're the one who's getting your butt kicked. But people only see the actual like results or how it looks in the actual fight a lot of times. So O'Malley looks really good when he's fighting these bums, but this is a real test in Peter Yan. If he could still look as good as he does fighting all of those bums, then you really got something there for his ability to be the champion of the bantamweight division. And in a lot of ways too, like the next fight with TJ Dillashaw um, and the backpack guy, Aljamain Sterling. I don't know why I gotta like think backpack guy, and then like it comes back up to my memory. But this is like the number one contenders fight in a lot of ways for the person who wins the next fight. A lot of times they like to set that up where both of these fights like happen right after each other, and you're like, okay, that's the next guy to challenge for the title. And I believe that's what they did here in the bantamweight division. Peter Yan walking out now. I was eating some raspberries earlier, and I got like a raspberry seed stuck in between my teeth. I'm dying to like get it out. Oh well. What can you do? So interesting things in this fight. Peter Yan's known for having really good boxing. I wonder how he's going to like close the distance against O'Malley. O'Malley really likes to use his length in his fights. And Peter Yan's like 5'6", 5'7", and O'Malley's like 6 feet tall or something like that. I'll tell you the exact numbers in the tail of the tape here in a second. But it should be interesting to see how Peter Yan tries to close the distance here. You know, you saw this fight with O'Malley versus Marlon Vera, who that's the only guy who like ever beat O'Malley in a fight, but it looked like it was a very inconclusive fight because O'Malley like got his leg hurt in the match and was doing pretty well. And then he lost like via the injury. So it's always been like a question of like what's O'Malley's true level at, and that's something that you're going to see here in this fight for sure. So it's kind of cool to get that question answered. And it's only seconds away from happening. Peter Yan is about to step into the octagon, and I'm getting a little bit nervous. This is a big fight kind of feel, where we're really going to see how good O'Malley is right now. O'Malley looking like he's a little bit nervous here. And Peter Yan looks like he is hyped up, ready to go. Should be a really, really interesting match. All right, tail of the tape. Peter Yan's 29, Sean O'Malley 27. Peter Yan's 5'7.5", and Sean O'Malley's 5'11". Um, Peter Yan 136, Sean O'Malley 135, and Peter Yan's reaches 67 inches, and Sean O'Malley's reaches 72 inches. So that's a big reach advantage for O'Malley, and I think a lot of this fight is going to be won lost on how Peter Yan is going to try to close that distance and land his strikes. This should be a very striking, heavy oriented style. And O'Malley's known to have a good record against these like short, stocky guys. And a lot of times these shorter, stockier guys have like their own particular style. Oh, they got some guys in the crowd for O'Malley with a pink fro. So it looks like there is some sale value in O'Malley's hair where you could buy it as like merchandise. But it's not like a classic thing where it and Patty the Batty always has like that blonde signature bowl cut look. Um, but should be a really fascinating, interesting fight. It's about to begin very soon. Damn. Having some technical difficulties again. Unfortunate.
You done?
No, I'm still live. Having some technical difficulties though. Silas Barreto says the earth is flat. Thank you for that comment, Silas. Silas, what proof do you have of the earth being flat? All right. Well, it's looking like I'm having some technical difficulties again. I will be back. Much love.